For the gentleman, you know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. Let's start off, as usual, telling us how your energy's doing. 1 out of 10, how's your energy today on this beautiful Saturday? All right, good. We got a 10, we got an 8, 10, 6, 9, 7, 9. Keep them coming. Veronica's a 6, under the weather. We pray you're feeling better soon, my friend. All right, so we have several exciting things to cover today. Very important foundational piece for your for the next segment or steps that we're going to be going into here in this 60 days to deals. So 24 days. I just got another message. So in the first 24 days, there was at least 25 deals either contracted or closed that you guys have told me about. I don't know about the ones I don't know about. So 25 and 24 days is pretty freaking incredible. Congratulations to you guys. So for those of you who are getting deals and getting checks, congratulations. That's exciting. For you who are feeling a little behind the curve, whether you're getting deals and getting checks or not, Leo's going to be sharing with you some foundational, pivotal shifts you can make today that will improve your close rate, improve your business, improve your lead flow overall. And it's a lot of work that he helped me work through when we started working together. Very important. So before we delve in, type a win that you've had this morning on this beautiful Saturday to get the energy up. What's a win you've had this morning? Could be I woke up healthy. Could be I got my workout in. I got up on time. Whatever it is, what's your win? Laundry is done. I like this. All right. What's some other wins? Made it to another anniversary. Congratulations, Mike. 39 years. Got a good night's sleep, Carrie says. All right. Got some good rest. Made 5 calls this morning. Way to go, Valerie. Found a good lead, Jess says. Heck yeah. It's amazing what happens when we just shift our habits and we begin to look for deals. What begins to appear, whether it be from Facebook Marketplace, from groups, from people telling us about deals, it just is inevitable that it happens. Laura said, workout and grocery shopping done. Congratulations, Laura. I love that. I made 7 calls, including follow-ups. Way to go, Cindy. All right, good. Brother Leo, you ready to delve into these 3 vital steps?
Yeah, set it up.
All right. So our objective is, as Leo delves into this, get your pen and pad if you're in a place to do so. I see some of you already have them. And make sure you're taking lots of notes. These shifts, these 3 shifts are going to take you from where you are, if you take action on them, to the next level of closing deals, the next level of increased lead flow, the next level of the business. And these pieces, while they may not sound like they directly relate to real estate up front, you're going to see a massive shift when you begin to implement them. So everybody give a virtual hand to my brother, Leo Valentino.
What's going on? How you doing? How we doing? All right. So today, over these next 20 minutes, I'm going to try to crunch down what happened for myself, what happened to Andrew, what happened to many of our students who have gone through multiple breakthroughs over the years. And I'm going to try to crunch it down in 20 minutes. And I know we can do it as long as you take notes and you pay attention and you dive into it with full reception, which means you're taking it in, you're asking yourself, do I accept this information? Do I want to take action on it? Does my intuition say that this feels good? And if so, then you know you could take action on it. But before you let your brain either fully accept it or fully write it off, try it first. That's my one ask for you guys, is to try it first. Okay. So number 1, write this down. Absolute self-awareness. Write down absolute self-awareness. So for every single one of you, we have to understand why it is that we make our decisions that we make. And why is it if we do not make a decision, if we do not choose to wake up on time, why that is. So absolute self-awareness, it's a path that we all take in understanding what our minds are going through. So when this was brought to the attention of our students, we started to see them do multiple deals every single month because they started to do what they say they were going to do. They started to put something down on a paper, for example, goal, I want to hit $20,000 a month. That's my Freedom Life number. And when I wrote it down, they wrote down the steps to actually get there. They broke it down. Okay, I have to get to 2 to 3 lease options every single month. And from those 2 to 3 lease options, I have to do X amount of calls. And for those X amount of calls, I need X amount of leads. Okay, so they broke it down at such a good level. Now, it would be simple to say, okay, we just have to go do it every day. We get the leads. The next day we make our calls. Then we do our follow-ups. Then we make our calls. Then we do our follow-ups. Then we shoot our offers over and we start to get deals. But what has happened for many people over the past couple of years is that they write the things that they need to do down and they know the list of things that they need to do down, but they don't do it. Too many things get in the way. And then we start to bring up excuses. So while many of you have understood that for your life and can think of many things of why that happens, I want to propose a different idea. I want to propose this idea of extreme ownership and extreme self-accountability through absolute self-awareness. You might ask yourself, why am I not successful? Why am I overweight? Why am I not happy? And when you have the answers to each of these things, every piece starts to make sense. Why you're going to the gym that day, it starts to make sense why you're going. Why you're not going to the gym, it starts to make sense why you're going. And I want to pull Andrew here in just a second. But Andrew, when you were first starting out to lose weight and really hold yourself accountable to that standard, what did you have to discover about yourself to be able to start going every single day, right? Because you got to understand why your body was how it was, why your mind was how it was, but what was it that really helped you discover by yourself to take action every single day? What was it?
I think it's realizing the purpose why you do it. For me, and this comes back to self-discovery and knowing yourself well. If I make a commitment to someone, I'm very committed to that outcome. And many of you are that way. That's why you're here on a Saturday. And I'm glad that we're doing this lesson on a Saturday because you guys that are here are the committed ones, right? The most committed people who show up on the weekend whenever it may not be the most convenient. It's when I make a commitment to someone who I am feeling obligated to keep that commitment to, which should be ourself as well. But if I make that external commitment, then I'll do anything in my power to ensure it happens. And I think it is the foundational habit shift that I'm glad I got, because more than losing the 45 pounds or even changing what I ate, it's the fact that it proved to me if I make a commitment to myself, regardless of the desired outcome, even if I'm not quite where I want to be, I have fulfilled that commitment. So now I need to figure out the new commitment I make to get to the next level. Just like you inspired me to make a commitment to 75 hard. It's very inconvenient. It was very inconvenient timing. I made the commitment and over halfway through today, celebrate. Yes, I'm counting these days. All right. So I made that commitment. And so it comes back down to that foundation practice. If I say I'm going to do calls, if I say I'm going to do 5 calls, it doesn't matter if it's freaking 11 p.m. I'm going to make sure I've done those 5 calls. May make a seller angry. That would just motivate me to do them earlier tomorrow. So what am I needing to do to ensure that I'm keeping that commitment to myself? That's what it comes back to for me.
Okay, so that's absolute self-awareness. You need to understand why you make the decisions that you make and why you don't make the decisions. And a tactic, a tool that you guys can start using is intentional journaling. Okay, write that down. Intentional journaling.
That's a big one.
This will be a big change in a lot of your guys' lives if you choose to implement it. So intentional journaling is the absolute remnants of a growth mindset. Because instead of saying things like, why am I not enough? Why did I not do good enough? Why do I have these situations? Why is this happening to me? You ask, how can I learn from this fast to every situation that happens to you? So when you do every single sales call and you have that fear and you start getting those weird feelings in your chest and you don't want to call, in that moment, write down exactly how you're feeling. What's going through your mind? What kind of fear is going through your brain? And understand that fully. Because then you're going to do your next call and you're going to realize a little bit more of that comes up and you're going to write it down again. And now you're understanding what fear is actually coming up. And it's because you fear the rejection. And now you know, okay, I'm not actually scared here. I just fear the rejection. So how can I limit that fear of rejection by understanding really what rejection is? Rejection is just a stepping stone. It's just a repetition to the actual success. But rejection creates such a big fear that it holds many, many people back. And if we look at all the very successful people that we look up to, they all overcame the fear of rejection because they just kept making the calls and they just kept going out to the events and they just kept showing up even on a Saturday. So when you can journal it out, you can understand on call number 72, why do you feel so good? Let's compare call number 72 to call number 3. Oh, it's because on call 72, I took a lot of deep breaths before, and I started telling myself, this is going to be a big check right here. I'm excited. This is going to be a big one. But on call number 2, you were saying, oh no, I hope they don't pick up. This is the end of the world. I am scared. This is terrible. So then you can look at yourself like a book. You can read page 2 and see, okay, that's what my mindset was then. Close. Let's read page 72. Okay, the mindset's working. This is why mindset is not rah-rah anymore, because now I'm calling myself more confident and I feel more confident. And it's been 72 days and I've done 4 deals. That makes a lot of sense. And now you can see on a Tuesday, you wake up on a Tuesday morning, you feel wonderful. You feel amazing. And the next Tuesday, you feel like crap. Now, guess what you can do? Instead of wondering why you feel like crap, you journal it out. You see, what did you eat last Tuesday? Oh, you ate pretty healthy. You had a lot of water and you reached out to some good people in your life and you just said hello and you got some sunlight, right? That's why last Tuesday you felt 10 out of 10 energy. But this Tuesday you had a whole lot of junk food. You didn't call anyone. You stayed inside. You didn't work out. You didn't walk. Okay, that makes sense why I don't feel so great. So you read yourself like a book. And this is why a year from now, guys, I'm so glad I'm telling you this today, because a year from now, you're going to have 365 days worth of data on yourself. Every single bottle you drink, every single food that you eat, every single sales call that you do, every single conversation you have a note on it. You can write it down on scratch paper. You can do an audio. For anyone who's doesn't like to write all that much, record an audio and just talk to yourself. And it's like therapy. You'll start to realize it really does feel like therapy when you just talk to yourself in that way.
What's a good journaling app for people that are traveling nonstop like you or I?
Day One, the app called Day One. It's free on the App Store. I use that app all the time, but Apple also has a journaling app. So either on if you have an iPhone, uh, just use the journaling app or use Day One. Or if you got the green machine, the Androids, go ahead and get the Day One app. There you go. I see some people. Steph's got a Android there. Uh-oh. All right. So number 1 was absolute self-awareness. And the action step there was intentional journaling. Number 2, Andrew's going to go over, because I think he's probably the best person to go over this, but it is understanding your superpower. Because every single person on here has a different superpower. Some of you have similar ones, but the idea is if we step into our unique superpower, then we're instantly given an advantage over the other people who just don't have that same superpower, who just are not as naturally inclined or naturally talented at that skill. So here's how Andrew's going to show you how to find that superpower.
So it's interesting. And when you step into this absolute self-awareness, I want you to identify patterns. So in locating your superpower, write this down, identify patterns. And you notice when you say, okay, I was late to a meeting, immediately our mind goes, yeah, I was, but my Zoom had to update. Or immediately our mind goes, well, I didn't work out like 45 minutes today. I only did 30 because I had a meeting I had to get to. Well, no, it wasn't because you had a meeting you had to get to. It was because you started late, right? So if we can start being totally transparent with ourselves, that's where we're going to start to identify our superpowers. And if you notice yourself, you're going, okay, I set myself this list of things to do, or I'm told myself I'm supposed to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm avoiding it or I'm missing it. If I notice something on my calendar is moved more than 3 days in a row, so in other words, I moved it to the following day and the following day, I go, wait a second, I'm avoiding this. So either it is not important to me or I don't want to do it. Which is it? So I get really, really transparent with myself. So watch your patterns and you'll start to realize, if you sit down and make a list of 10 things that you enjoy and are good at and start to lean into those things, because you may have to work twice as hard at the same thing someone else does. And we live in a society that does promote, which is great, people will have a challenge and overcome it. Except what if we thought a different way, just for the thought process, and say, instead of trying to overcome this thing I suck at, what if I lean into the thing I'm good at? And that's, I think, where surrounding the right people with the right people comes in, because you start to lean into what you're really good at, what your natural talent is, and you build off of that. Now, I'm not suggesting that if you're making a phone call and you're not good at it on the first 10 that you should stop at all, right? Because you have to step into the things that are needed as well. But we're looking to where those things cross. I'm good at it and things that have to be done. So if you can identify the things that you are good at and enjoy and start to relate that to the business that you are in, going into, or want to be in. For example, if you say, hey, I'm a really good people person, awesome. Now, that doesn't mean you're good at getting to the conclusion. That's a separate gift. If you're good at conversation, though, and people enjoy talking with you, you can absolutely make a couple minor tweaks and get really good at closing deals and getting to the conclusion. You've got the major part of that down, right? So it comes back to, if you're really good and your mind already works in numbers, then you learn a little bit about real estate, or about notes on real estate, or about mortgages, or about some other business, finance, and you can start to think in that way very rapidly. And it's interesting because the more we step into that superpower, the more you just begin to take off and life becomes much less stressful. I think in the major self-awareness is what's going to reveal to you what your superpower is. Because if you write down your superpowers, what you believe you enjoy, you may find, I used to be this way, when I write down my superpowers, I would write down what I thought they should be. And so I'm telling myself I'm good at these things because I want to be that guy. And so that's great for future pacing, but it's also necessary that you know what you're truly good at today, not just future pacing yourself to what you want to be great at in the future. Anything I should add to that before we jump to number 3?
Yeah, this is important. As you guys know, or some of you may know, how we coach our students is we're very blunt, we're very candid. We care about your feelings, but in the moment of coaching, we don't care about your feelings. We just want you to win. And most people who have come to us they start to get deals because they break through this mindset. And we've had people before say, I mean, I don't need mindset. I'm good. My mind is good. I can just do the work. Teach me more real estate. And me and Andrew, we teach the real estate every day. And we're doing 60 days full of real estate training. And we've put so many hours out there for free. So the thing about the mindset is we've talked to a lot of people, who have said, I don't need mindset. And we say, okay, here's everything you need on the real estate. Here it all is. And eventually they still don't do deals. And if they come to us and say, why do I need mindset? I say, why don't you have deals? It's because you haven't solved the issue at hand. You haven't been able to get over yourself and understand who you are. So you stay in bed, or you don't do the calls, or you do 12 calls and you give up. Because the mentality isn't one with, okay, I'm just going to keep going. I know a check is on the other side. How can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? And you stay excited, and you're surrounded by other people who keep you going, right? You get down, you talk, you call Andrew. Andrew, I've done 12 calls, nothing. Andrew says, just keep going. I'll hop on with you for another 12. Let's do it. And now you're feeling a little better. And in those 12, you get a deal. That's the difference here. And I say that because I know 90% of you understand the mindset and understand we need to grow there. But there's still 10% who are like me, who are saying, I know everything about mindset. What do you get to teach me about mindset? Right. But once you get over that and you start to become coachable in that, and you start asking yourself, okay, hey, what if there was something to this? What if there was something about building massive self-awareness and building communication skill and understanding my superpower that would make me more successful? Maybe that's why I haven't been as successful over the past 5 years, is because I lie to myself and I say that I'm perfect and I'm better than anyone else, or I'm better than everyone, but the success isn't there. Where's the deals? Where's the money? Show me the money, baby. But it's not there until we fix the mindset. So let's jump into number three. Let's jump into number three, which I believe is one of the most important things that we can learn just anywhere. And it's not taught most places, but it is effective communication. Now, we only have 7 minutes here. So, we definitely can't go into everything, but we will have more time over these 60 days, which is halfway done now, right?
Almost. We're
Almost
day
halfway?
25.
Day 25.
That's crazy how this time is flying by. And Monday, we'll be back getting more. I got more leads, by the way. I got to get some more leads called for you guys that you sent over to me. Next week is more deal flow and hopefully more checks that you guys are showing you got. That's our objective.
Absolutely. So let's break it up into two. I'm gonna go really fast. You guys okay with me teaching really fast here? You guys can go back to the YouTube. Okay, ready? Number one is, I lost that on my brain. It'll come back in 3, 2, 1. Self-communication. That's what it is. Self-communication. I promise you this, and I've done it with every student that I promise. If I am with you for 3 days straight, if I'm with you for 3 days straight, you are going to feel the most energy. You're going to work out the hardest you've ever worked out.
That's the truth.
You'll probably make more calls than you've ever made in your life. You'll probably feel better about yourself than you've ever felt about yourself in your life. You'll probably work harder. You'll feel just really good. Why? It's because I'm constantly going to be on you and say good things to yourself. Like, you look great. Let's keep it going. Let's go to the gym. You feeling good? Awesome. Drink this water. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. Let's go on the treadmill. You look great. Keep it going. Keep it going. You got it. That's how I am as a trainer. However, I've learned that to do that for myself, where if I'm in the gym, I'm doing that for myself. I'm saying, Leo, you look good. Let's keep it going. Keep rocking. You're on a call. This one's going to be a big check. This one's going to be a 20K. This one's going to be a 30K. Guess what? It's a 30K. Awesome. I'm going to do a 50K close right here. I do a 50K close. I'm going to keep it rocking. Someone rejects me. It's okay. That's a rep. Next, go to the next one. Every call, before everything that I do, I'm always nice to myself. I'm my own best friend. And anyone who's ever been around me knows that I am my own best friend, because they also know how I talk to them. I make sure everyone feels good about themselves. So when we can do that for ourselves, that is when everything changes for us. I don't need to be there with you. You need to be there with you. You haven't been there with you for the past 10 years. Instead, you have been your biggest enemy, telling yourself that you're worthless, telling yourself that you can't do these calls, telling yourself that you're fat, telling yourself all these things that hold you back from doing the thing. So it's like having a roommate that constantly says you're not good enough. but you listen and you constantly listen to that person. So we got to switch that mentality. We got to switch that language and speak to yourself as if you were speaking to one of your best friends. And when you can do that, you can really start to hear yourself differently and really start to take your own advice differently. And now you start doing what you say you're going to do. I want you to speak on that a little bit, Andrew, because the self-talk changed for you quite a bit, years ago when we first started working on self-communication. Talk about that for just a second here.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to look at what you're saying to yourself now, which if we have not been thinking about it, it's like it just happens by proxy, right? You've heard somebody make a statement and then be like, I'm so stupid. I don't know why I thought that. You hear them say these comments. And I realized in my mind, well, I might not have said it verbally, that I was saying all these things to myself. But it was such a habit. Like when Leo said to me, you're talking crap to yourself, my immediate thought was, no, I'm not. And then I start to watch, and then I'll do something and make a call that didn't work out. I would do something in the gym, not go as hard as I wanted to, or my body wasn't transforming as quickly as I wanted it to. All of these pieces, if I felt a loss or I felt it wasn't where I wanted it to be, immediately I was talking crap to myself internally. And once I, rather than saying, accepting the immediate response of no, I don't, and saying, okay, I'm going to see if I'm doing that, and I start paying attention to my thought process, now everything begins to change because I identified it. It had now been identified by someone who called me out for what I was doing, basically to myself. And every time I happen is a big habit change. Big habit change. When you walk in a room, flip on the light, you don't even think about it. When you hop in the car, you push the button or turn the key, don't even think about it until you get in a different car. And then maybe the car that you drive is the push button and the one you get in is a turn key. And you go to push the keyhole and you're like, oh crap, this is a key, not a button. You realize you've just had this muscle memory of the thing you're doing over and over and over again. And so you have to have that pattern interrupt. For me, it was accountability partner. And you have to have that pattern interrupt that calls you out and says, wait a second, why are you saying this to yourself? And if you can identify that, you can make those changes way more rapid than you ever thought possible.
That's right. And we're actually just going to leave it at that because number one, self-communication will lead to outside communication because once you communicate with yourself this way, now you can start speaking to other people with such confidence and love. That's why they say you can't love other people till you love yourself first. Genuine love, right? You can't do that until you find that within yourself. And action step for today, before we hop off, is to pay full attention. And I mean full attention to how you're speaking yourself today, how you're speaking to yourself rather. And start realizing how many negative things you're already saying to yourself in like 6 seconds. You get off this call and you say, oh, I got to get to this. Oh, I can't believe I didn't do this or whatever. All these stuff going into your mind. Just imagine that me and Andrew were with you today and we were listening to everything you were saying. Okay. And then what would we say to you in that moment? If you called yourself a name, what would we say to you? We'd probably say, nope, we're not doing that. Try again. You look beautiful. You look awesome. You look amazing. You smell good. Wow, what is that? What is that cologne? That's great. All right, let's make a call. Let's make some phone calls. You look good. It's money making day. It's Saturday and we're here. You just hopped on a Zoom with us on a Saturday. Good for you. You're a great person. You know that? Say those things to yourself and just watch how much better you feel today. But you do that for a whole year, your whole entire life will change. I promise you that.
So go
Hey,
get
guys,
money.
we got a shout out for Melissa Siegler, our Truca event ticket holder. She's celebrating her birthday today.
Happy
So
birthday!
Happy birthday. Awesome. Well, get your questions for Monday. So Leo has a live to start. And so we are going to go ahead and hop over to that and get your questions together for Monday. Come back Monday at the same time. We're going to be delving in deeper to the real estate investing business and other income strategies from it you never knew existed before. All right. We're going to keep having fun here, closing them deals, getting checks, 25 contracts in the first 24 days. Keep the momentum up, guys. Bye for now.